Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. What is this game, you wonder, or maybe you know? This little game is called Ground Branch, and it has been recommended to me by one of my followers who was watching my Ready or Not videos here on my YouTube channel, and I was like, I've never heard about this game. What is it? So of course I had to look it up, and I instantly put it onto my Steam wishlist. But at that point I was still pretty busy with several games, so I was in no hurry to purchase this game. And I also knew it is still in early access, so I knew that the longer I wait, the better it will get. So, like a good meat stew, right? But then the time came where I was like, man, I just played all the good games there are. What is there that I can play? I need something new and refreshing. And I was really looking for a new open world game, adventure game, survival game. And I just couldn't see anything that I haven't played yet or that was good enough for me to be excited about. Then I was like, let me look at my wish list, and I saw this game on my list, and I was like, you know what? Now is the time to get it. I need to find out if I'm going to actually like this game. And for those of you who hear about this game for the first time just now, as I mentioned it, this game is from one of the developers behind the original Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon games, and I have been a fan of both games for many, many years, so that was one more reason for me to get this game. But then I was concerned. I was like, well, you know, is this going to be a game where you can only enjoy it if you play with others, or can you actually play this solo? So I did some research on that, and a lot of players were saying, oh no, I have 100 hours into this game. I played it 99% solo. I am super addicted to it. I had a ton of fun. So I'm like, I am sold. I am so sold. That's all I needed to know to jump right into it. And at the beginning, I was like, oh no, I think this game might be a little bit too hard for me. I don't know if I can ever really have fun with this, if I cannot be good at it. So I was a little bit unsure, but I'm not someone who gives up so quickly. So I just had to take a break and get back into it. And I have to say, the next day, I was like all gung-ho to try again. I was just like, I can do this. Come on. Everyone else can do it. I can do it. So I went in and I tried again, and I learned more things. And I was like, okay, I think I feel much better now about this game. And then I tried again, and I tried again, and I had some successes and some fails, and I just kept learning with every run. And I finally was able to clear out, for example, in this run, the whole plane and disarm the bomb. No problem. I felt very good about it. It gave me a lot of self-confidence. But there's two parts to this mission. You have to do the plane, and then there's two other possible locations where the bomb could be. And I wasn't able yet to do both. So meaning the whole mission, which is both bombs. But I'm working on it. But I thought I'm going to make this video anyway, because I just wanted to have something new on my channel and maybe give people some ideas about new games they can play. And this game is definitely something I recommend. As you can see, you can play many, many different maps, and then you can change all the settings. So you can completely customize the game to your liking or to your level. And that's what makes this game more interesting, because you can't get frustrated so easily, because you can say, okay, this is a little hard for me. Let me set it down a notch. And then you feel better about it. But then maybe it will get too easy for you, and you can be like, okay, I probably have to up in the amount of enemies, or the level of the enemies. Like, are they like good in, like, are they experts, or are they like untrained enemies? Stuff like that. You can also set the time of the day. So for example, night situations are definitely going to be way more difficult because you can't see. There's no such thing as, reticles or anything you can see on the screen to help you. It's super realism. And like with any other game that's similar, you can have training here. So you can spend as much time as you want in training. There is a shooting range, and there's even a night vision shooting range, which is really awesome. And that's where you can play around with your gear. And everything is unlocked from the beginning. There is no such thing as grinding for gear, which also makes this way more realistic. Because if you are a specialist in the real world, having to go fight terrorists, you have access to everything you need to fight terrorists. It's not like, oh, you're a noob. No, you do not have access to this because you're not good enough, because that's just going to set you up for failure. So here you can literally just select everything you need to your heart's content to get the job done. And there's a lot of customization. And then when you're not sure if you've chosen the right customization for your gun, you can go right ahead and just kind of try it out and see if you actually need to update your customization or if this is what you wanted. And a lot of times I found out like, oh no, that's not the scope I want, or I don't like this gun. I really like that you can try it out right after customizing it to make sure you have the right setting for the right mission. And so what I had to learn is that I needed a gun that had a little bit of a better scope. So in this run here, which was one of my very first runs, I didn't have the perfect setup. I kind of went with the default. And it went pretty well. And then, I was like, uh-oh, I do not have the right setup. So I learned that very quickly. But you can definitely get a lot done even with the default setting. I was actually pretty surprised how well I did here right at the beginning. And it was a lot of fun until I kind of started to tackle the plane, and you have to take out enemies from farther away because there's a lot of distance between those buildings here and the plane and not a lot of cover. And yeah, as we all know, if we don't have a lot of cover, the best thing is always to have some sort of a sniper rifle so you can just pick enemies up from a distance. So I have to say, for this game being early access, it is absolutely fully playable, a lot of fun. You wouldn't even know it's early access if somebody wouldn't tell you about it. You could just tell that the graphics are a little bit rough around the edges still, but not bad at all. They kind of remind me a lot of Counter-Strike, like the very first Counter-Strike. And yeah, you don't have a lot of details, like there could be a lot of rubble on the ground and, trash and just the details that you see nowadays in games, also in the building. You can see it's pretty flat. There's not much going on. It's a little boring. And I think that's okay because, you can have an amazing looking game that doesn't work properly or is not fun, and then nobody cares about the graphics. Or you can have the developers making sure that the game fully works and there's no bugs, and then worry about the graphics later. And I think that's what they're doing here. They are just really making sure the game works. And I feel the way the game works right now is great. I haven't seen any bugs. It is a lot of fun. The defusing of the bombs is a little weird. But again, they tried to make it super realistic, so there's not a lot of beeping. I mean, not a lot of like sound indicators or graphic indicators that you're actually diffusing. There could be like a bar that shows you how far along you are in diffusing and stuff. You just press the button, you're like, is it even diffusing at all? I'm not even sure. Anyway, so those are little details that you just notice when you play other FPS games compared to this one. But overall, I think this game is amazing. And it's also got really good reviews. People really love this game. And I can only imagine that it will just get better. So I hope you like this video and maybe you are gonna pick this game up as well. It's still in early access, as I said, but it also makes it very affordable. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, take care, bye bye.